Wagwan.
Yes, mate.
Yes, mate. Yes, Mikey.
Yes, mate. Oh, he's joining. Big Mark
I
Hamill.
when I did this when I did this with Dr. Scott, right? He was in his camper. Okay, first of all of the furniture, the bedding was all orange, obviously my favorite color. So I was like, you are literally definitely my best friend. Then his dog was in and out on the bunk bed, and I was like, this raises a valid point as a podcast host. For like 4 years of hosting my podcast, being in the fifth year now, I did it in my living room just with a blurred background. Authentic.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
a kid,
I
don't
mean, Ayo.
tell
Okay.
everyone. Hi.
How said? Well, we'll probably have to be censored for a little bit.
Hello, little man.
Bro,
Hello.
we can't hear you, bro.
Oh, yeah. I know. That's fine. It's connected to the 2 seconds.
Okay. All right. All right. We are. Yeah. How's it going? Are you alive? Are you with us?
He's wonky.
He's a wonky boy. Right. Whilst Mark's sorting that out, Ryan, how have you been?
There we go.
Hey, hello, mate.
Ayo.
Um, yes, Jack. Thanks for asking, my friend. I feel good, mate. So I don't know if I mentioned I booked a holiday 4 weeks ago, and I had it in my head. I don't want to be as much as I had abs, I had like a turtle shell belly. You know, when you're in off season and you're eating loads of food.
Okay.
So I decided to tidy things up, and 4 weeks later, I'm now down 10 kilograms, and I feel really good for it. I granted this probably a bit too quick, but I set myself a little challenge, and here we are. So I feel good, mate. I feel good.
That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, I'm actually on a little bit of a diet myself now. I've
Yeah,
started pulling back again.
it's, you're not. It's not. No, it's just part of the off season, isn't it? It's not actually going for anything. You're not going to next year.
No, it's so obviously I've signed up well, I've started working with Kuba, and part of what we're doing is priming, and it's pretty interesting. I understand why, because this is what I do with clients when a lot of the clients that I first work with, I will prime them just so I can get the body to respond exactly how I want it to and have sort of biofeedback markers looking how I want them to. But yeah, we're pulling back. I'm already relatively lean to start off with, so it's probably, I know he likes to keep his guys really lean in the off season, and
For people
you know.
watching, though, for people watching, could you reckon you could expand on that a little bit? Like, what does priming mean? Imagine you're like a non-bodybuilder, but you're quite into bodybuilding. What does that mean?
Yeah, so priming essentially is getting your body in a place where it's really responsive to grow, to gain tissue. So you're wanting to bring down your body fat, so you've got plenty of room with your composition to push up with. You want your to be nice and sensitive to food, carbs, so you're insulin sensitive. You want your digestion to be in a good place, your appetite in a good place, your energy, your fitness, blood pressure, all these things, your health markers, so that you're in a position where you can push up for a good duration of time. Because a lot of people could make the mistake of it, pushing up and then they have to pull back a couple of months later because their body's not in, hasn't got that long runway to push up with. So priming is essentially just getting the body ready to do that.
I think most people watching, I know most people, as in like Gen Pop and people who are newer to bodybuilding, they always come and they sign up. I'm sure you all know this as well. They sign up and they go, I just want to be bigger, but they're carrying too much body fat.
Yeah.
So they're in that position where they're not a really like muscular physique, but they're carrying loads of body fat and they're like, I just want to be bigger. And then you pull their calories down and they think to themselves, they're like, why the fuck is he pulling me down? I said I want to get bigger. And I think one of the main jobs as a coach is explaining what you just explained there. It's like bread and butter, isn't it? Absolute bread and butter. It's like you have to
100%.
explain it to absolutely every single client.
Yeah, and it definitely makes sense. It can seem sort of like counterproductive or the opposite way for a lot of people because people just want to go the direction that they want to go in, but they don't realize that with your physique, whether you're bodybuilding or not, if you've got physique goals, you need to be thinking long term because it is being able to sustain a particular process long term. So, you're not after like a quick push up and a quick diet or yo-yoing. And it's just essentially it's like when people join up with coaching and they've not had the bloods done, they've been on blast up year round and all that type of shit, and they're like, yeah, cool, let's push. And it's like, well, no, we need to just make sure that you're not going to die. I like, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's like, well, fuck, you've
You know,
got to.
yeah, it's so true. Like people think in a linear fashion, don't they? They just think, well, I want to be bigger. Food makes you bigger, therefore that's the answer. And again, like a big thing. I mean, we all know it's like very easy for us to understand, but like newer people don't understand. The body just won't do what you want it to do when it's in a highly stressed state, whether that is, using androgens for a long period of time, or whether
Mhm.
that's carrying a large amount of body fat or whatever. Your body won't act how you want it to. You're not going to be able to put on the right amount of muscle when you're carrying loads of body fat.
For
You've got to,
sure.
it's almost like a rolling snowball. The more body fat you've got, the more exponentially you grow body fat as well.
Yep. Yeah. Especially when you're insulin, you're not no longer insulin sensitive and your blood glucose is quite high, your ability to put on visceral fat is increased quite a lot. And this is what is commonly overlooked because you'll have people go, oh, I'm still relatively lean, but they don't understand that when you're on gear, yeah, you're going to look leaner because you're on gear, but also you'll have to stay even leaner because visceral fat is going to be is visible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's got to be taken into account. This is a part and parcel of how I'm approaching it now.
I feel
Also, I
like
think, sorry, sir, go on, sorry.
just from a coaching standpoint, also you being with a new coach, Jack,
Mm,
obviously he then gets the opportunity to be able to learn your body, what food to put in, what that correlates with training, what
that's
PEDs.
it.
Like literally, the library is there to do this outside of a prep and something that I'm sure we can all agree with in an ideal space. I mean, I
Mm,
have taken two people on 4 weeks out because they had a real shit show of a prep, but that's not your normal ideal scenario, right? And I had to explain everything around that in an ideal setting, if as a coach you can take someone on, even if it's like 6 to 8 weeks before they're looking to do a preparation, you get that opportunity to either do, like you're saying, a bit of a pre-prep diet or whatever, or just to really understand and get to grips with the person from a psychological standpoint, a
yeah,
schedule
yeah,
standpoint, how their body responds. Also, when
100%.
you think about it, it's like I had this conversation literally at the weekend when we talk about anabolics, as you were talking about there, Ryan. Some people don't respond favorably to certain compounds. Now, I know from females, there's certain females that will like literally blow the fuck up from a water retention standpoint on something like Primo. Some of them don't. They look better and it works. It's better. So we would look at a different so there's options there. But when you're a client, if you're someone listening and you're looking to get a coach, choose, do your research, maybe do multiple consultations. Choose the coach that you're going to fucking listen to, okay? And that's a clear message because we can explain, right? As you say, Ryan, that's super important. I explain to the fucking nth degree, but I need the client to actually take that on board and be the student, the person that's going to listen and try these things. The communication is key, but if you are looking for a coach, please fucking make sure that it's one you're going to listen to, right?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, there's nothing
I
worse
think
than that.
there's another thing as well. You know what you're doing at the moment, Jack, and when you sort of prime yourself, and also is for Cuba to get an idea of how fast you respond. Because here's another one as well. You'll get clients who want to compete, and they've just read somewhere that it takes 16 weeks. Yeah, like regardless of history, regardless of anything, it's 16 weeks.
Yeah.
And you don't know how fast they
Well,
react. You don't know how fast they respond. And sometimes you might put someone in like a little deficit for maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and you can see the responsiveness of their body, and
Yeah.
then you can gauge how long it's going to take. I mean, you still don't know exactly, but you're going to have a better idea, because 16 weeks might be too long for someone. It might not be long enough for someone else, and it depends. So
Depends where you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, it depends where you are, but also
100%.
it's genetic response as well, though, isn't it? Some
Yeah.
Yeah,
people some people just are so hard to get lean,
this
and some
is
people ah, yeah.
this is like a game of patience, really, and time is your biggest asset. It's one of the best tools that you can have is time, a big runway for anything. And if you're working with someone, you want a decent runway, and you want to be get to a point where you understand the body, you can estimate. Because coaching decisions are educated guesses, but you say, right, I'm going to make this change. This should happen. And the more educated you are, the less of a guess it is. So this is where you want to get the body into a place where you can actually guess how that's going to respond because you've got this data. You've also intentionally made these changes, got it to a particular set point. A lot of people will get to a point where they're like, fuck it, I just wanna rush this or go there, just get me ready for a show in that particular time frame. It's like you don't understand that the advantage that other competitors are going to have is they've prepared the body. There's more education these days, right? Around contest prep and bodybuilding in general. So the people that you're going to compete against, even if it's a first timers show, they're going to have a good approach. The people who are taking it serious, right? And if you're like, fuck it, I'll do a show in a few months. I mean, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. You're also going to make it a lot fucking harder as well.
I think sometimes 1 plus 1 doesn't equal two either, right? So an anecdote for you guys, I'm sure you guys know people like this as well. I used to coach a guy called Louis Allen. He's called the Rhino on Instagram, and
I know.
yeah, the right, yeah. So he's one of my closest friends, and I coached him 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years, right? Me and him in off season, we're the same body weight, we're the same height, we're the same. There's so many variables that are similar. We're similar strength, we're similar everything. But when I prep, it takes me about 12 weeks. When he preps, it takes about 24 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? When we're stood side by side in off season, we look like there's not a lot to tell. But then for some reason, he's just a very slow responder. And so in your mind, you might look at other people. Oh, I'm similar to him, or I'm similar to her, and you might think, well, that's how long it takes. Well, no, that's how long it takes them. You are your own body, and you won't know until you do it. So if you're thinking of getting a coach and you think, well, there's a show in 12 weeks, I'll give it a go. You don't know if you're going to be ready.
Yeah. When because it sounds like you're trying to make a sale, don't it? When
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are
yeah,
inquiring and they're like, right, I'll come to you when I want to prep. And it's like, I'd recommend not doing that. You want to join before for the reasons that we just said.
Yeah.
You want to pre-prep a nice long runway. You want to understand the body, etc. And they're like, yeah, I'll just get my body in a place. Da, 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 da.
yeah,
And it's like,
yeah. It
cool.
sounds like you're trying to eke out more money, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not the case. It's that is genuinely what is going to be better is the longer you can work with someone, the better that's going to be, So,
Post show, right, as well. Post show, because this
oh
is
man,
this is what I've said this before on my own podcast, but my consultation process, like when someone says I'm interested in a prep, I will quite literally almost put them off. Now, I'm not doing that to be negative, to say they're
mm,
not capable, to say they can't do it or anything like that. But bearing in mind, I have a multitude of people that I sit across from, and sometimes their lifestyle, from a work life, personal life, whatever that looks like, I'm giving this outline of this is what it could look like. Okay, I don't know your body. I don't know, as you say, how you're going to respond. And it is almost like I'm telling them, don't do it. And I sort of am because they need to be ready for that. But also the post show. I've had clients fuck off in the post show when they were going
mm,
to sit with me.
yeah,
And I don't feel okay with that as a coach. It really fucking, I had one that financially couldn't afford it, so I coached her for free through the post show. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't fucking sleep with this shit going on, right? So it's like, there's context to that
Yeah.
at least a month post show also, right?
Yeah, you can how vulnerable people are at that place. You're gonna be super hungry, you're gonna be super food focused, and you're gonna want to try to balance yourself. You're gonna adapt to this different life where outside of the intensity of prep. And a lot of people are like, cool, I don't need a coach because I only need it for the process. So
I'm going to
sound.
eat.
And it's like, boom, every time it's like, don't do it. Don't, okay. Blah. And
Yeah.
it's
I've got
like,
30
you're like,
pounds.
and I've messaged people, like, please check in, bro. And I'm like, please just keep us up to date. Just, and you're trying to prepare them beforehand. And they're like, oh, I'm,
The,
I'm,
the
I'm
amount
like
of
20
times,
pounds up.
the amount of times someone's left because they want to do their own thing, and
That's
the
it.
amount of times and they've actually come back good
Yeah.
is probably about 0%. I think. I think
0%.
it
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
0%.
Yeah.
They, they
It's,
they always go and do their own thing, and they go, "Oh, bro, I fucked it. Oh, bro, I fucked it." I'm like, "Yeah,
mm,
yeah."
I want to live. I want to live. And I obviously I work with females, majority speaking, and I think sometimes we forget that a female is so much smaller than a male. So we spoke about this on a previous pod that we've done together, but it doesn't mean your appetite isn't what it could be for your partner, your family, whatever. So you think, well, I've done a prep, so I deserve
Yeah.
to eat this. Everyone's brought me Reese's butternut cups, fucking chocolate, all in the cupboards, all this stuff. They've told me I deserve this. I've told myself I deserve this. And you
yeah.
think because you're lean that you're just going to soak it up. It's not the case for everyone. Now, I know going assisted changed that for me. I can absolutely soak up more food post show, but also getting leaner. But you have to try and teach that. But teaching that to someone, and I try and prep people before the post show, but sometimes I don't want to talk about it. But trying to prep someone for that, it just sounds like you're being an arsehole and telling them, nope, you can't have this food, da, da, da. And I don't do that. I
No.
incorporate for sure meals out, etc. But if you don't want to hear it, you don't want to fucking hear it. And we've said before, you got to learn the hard way sometimes, but it's such a shame sometimes because then you've got body shaming, you've got potential disordered ways of
Yeah.
thinking, eating, like all of this stuff. And I feel that that's personally on me, or even though I'm educating to the fucking nth degree, as I've spoken about, it's really hard as a coach. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's tricky because sometimes people need to go through it. It's like trying to be told by a parent. It's like, hey, don't do this thing. It will fuck you up. And then it's like, ah, fuck you, dad. And then you do the thing. You're like, ah, it's fucked me
Mark's like,
up.
yeah.
And it's, you've got to. it it's very tricky as you can only do so much but we've been there. That's where that's coming from. Again, it's like that parent thing. It's like they're saying certain shit because they've been there, we've been there, and we know that it's not fucking worth it to eat and eat and eat and try to fill yourself up. Like I know pretty much year round. If I try to do that, it's not worth it because I can eat like a fat bastard. So I'm like, I, you learn that you're like, fuck me, now I feel shit, and then now I've got to do the da 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 da, and it's like part of what life should be about is trying to set up a better life for your future self, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do as coaches is trying to make the future for the client easier, whether that's a pre-prep or whether that's proper post-show management or enough time in a contest prep, etc., etc. Yeah, man.
I think there is something that I like to do with clients because I do it myself, and then I do it with clients as well. Now I don't know if it would work for you, Sarah, as you say, with like smaller females, so maybe it wouldn't work. But I tell all of my guys when they compete, I say take 3 or 4 days to yourself. Don't
Mhm.
just don't be a complete arsehole,
Yeah.
but let
Get it out of your
them.
system.
Yeah, like because I
Yeah,
think like very often I see on Instagram and whatever, I see that coaches are very much like, you've got to reverse. What about your
Ah,
glute?
don't get me
yeah.
started.
Yeah, what
That's
about
the
your
other
glute?
end of the
Like
spectrum, isn't
honestly,
it?
this is nothing to do with body fat. This is everything to do with getting this right. Yeah,
Mm,
I think those 3 or 4 days or whatever it is, gets this right, and then you're ready to go again.
Yeah, because you kind of like
yeah.
if you get out your system, it's just like you kind of want to get back onto it then, don't you?
Yes,
I've
exactly.
seen anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely that other end, where coaches are trying to they are trying to be a bit of a dictator, and they're like, right, we can only increase by 25 grams of carbs a week
Oh,
after a prep.
mate.
It's like that's
Honestly,
bollocks.
mate, I was having this conversation yesterday. Fucking
Yeah,
grind my gears.
Mate, when
it's
someone's like, "Oh, he gave me an extra 25 grams of oats." Ooh.
What the
yeah.
fuck's that gonna
Honestly,
do?
if a coach did that to me, I'd literally laugh. Good one, mate.
It's also educating,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's trying to, for me, and I wonder your thoughts here from a coaching standpoint. For me, I'm constantly prepping for all phases all the way through. So I talk about them and I often say on a check-in or a communication, this isn't the elephant in the room. So when we're getting close to post-show, we are focused on the prep. We have a lot of things to focus on, and I want you, you are in the prep mindset. But let's start to talk about, has there been family members that have said, I'd like you to take you for a meal? Has there been but I don't want to, and I always say it again, I always just out myself. I'm not trying to mummy you. I'm not trying to be a dictator. What I'm trying to do is incorporate things for you. And if you want me to put together what it looks like for your post-show week, we can do that. But the client needs to be receptive, and it's that like you say, parenting them, dictator, educator. They're emotional. You're feeling emotional because you don't know what's going to go on. Maybe they ghost you as well. That is not nice.
So though I mentioned it then about, and we spoke about it last time, right? In terms of this reverse fucking thing, right? The reverse dieting thing. What are your opinions on that? Like, I'd be interested to see what you actually think of it.
Who you asking?
Both of you, all of
Yeah.
you, whatever.
Yeah, someone else go first. Come.
Are you sure? Do you want to go?
Yeah.
So again, depending on the person, like all of this is dependent on the person.
Yeah.
I like to offer that space of, as you say, Ryan, 2, 3, 4 days. I like to communicate with them. I like to, and this is the thing, the understanding even from a training perspective. Now, I would always say, look, maybe the week after the show is good to set up a bit of a deload, a bit of a pullback, just come to, particularly, first, it's like, well, however, some people, like myself, I like being in the gym the day after. That's a mental health preference, right? So maybe they want to do some pump sessions. Okay, let's talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about where you're at and what this looks like from a food perspective. Again, depending on the person, it can as well be natural assisted, depending on also how long they've been in the game, how they respond to food.
Yep.
But with first timers, it's always going to be, and first time coaching someone, close communication. And I'm lucky right now, as of right now, and for the last few months, all of my clients, like they are literally pupils of bodybuilding, and by proxy pupils of myself. But I like to then give flexibility also. So it's like, if your post-show meal, as example, you're like, shit, I don't know what to have. I'm like, what do you like? Choose the top 3. Okay. Top 3. One's a salad, one's a curry, one's a whatever. Do you want the curry? Yeah, I do. Have the curry. Fluid after the show. Have some protein in the morning. Blah, blah, blah. I will do as much as I can as a coach, or as much as they want. But I've had people push back. So it's not, it's so far away from one size fits all.
Yeah,
I agree. I think I have very often, I come across this very often. They'll come off stage and they'll be really fucking eager to improve.
Yes.
So they'll get their feedback, right? They'll go, bro, I need bigger arms, bro, I need whatever, right? And I almost do force it upon them. That sounds a bit aggressive, doesn't it? I force them to chill. I know you want to go into off season immediately. I know that, but long term, this needs to have a little de-stress. So please, relax on the growth front. You've got 9 months in front of you to grow. A few days is not going to harm progress. So I always say, go and eat with your missus, go and eat with your parents, go and do what you things. Because not only is it going to be good for your mind, but also the people around you have had to endure you being less present, shall we say. Yeah. So go and pay it back to them. I think
find
that's
it's
really
one or the other. I find it's
enjoy
one or
it.
the other. Like, I find people are either so eager to be locked in, stay locked in, and again, you might need to pull it back. And other people are like, fuck it, I'm
So,
free, let's eat
so,
everything. Da, 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 da.
so I guess to add on that, what I'm asking is, so you don't have particular protocols in place where you tell fucking the majority of your clients, and you actually brag about it on socials that,
Right.
okay, so once the show is over, we'll then move immediately into our reverse dieting
Oh,
phase, bloody fucking bloody blah.
No,
It's
you want
nobody
to,
does that, right?
you know what,
you,
mate? People talk about that like it's a flex. They're like, 6 weeks post, 6 weeks post show, and I'm only a kilo up, and you're like, oh
that's
fuck.
fucking,
I
that's bad.
know.
You know
That's
what I'm on
bad.
about? Like
It's
that's not a
dangerous.
Yes,
flex.
yes,
That's
I
No,
not
it's
a
know
not.
flex.
exactly what you're on
That's
about,
doing
mate.
it wrong.
I know. There we
Like
go.
you've got to get body fat on you. Like that is got to be a thing. And
So
I've
glad
had
we've spoken about this,
conversations.
guys.
I've had
Yeah.
conversations with
Yeah.
other coaches, and they're like, "Oh, how are we doing?" And they've like, again, they're barely up, and I'm like, "How are you feeling?" They're like, "I still feel like I'm on prep. I feel shit," and da da da
Yeah.
da. I'm like, "Okay, you obviously need more body fat." It's like I'm trying to keep it lean. It's like, no, you need the body. So after you compete, you need the initial bit of body fat, and
Yes.
then you can keep
Yeah.
lean once you've
You
got
need it
enough
for your
body
head as
fat.
well, bro. You need it for your
It,
fucking.
your
For your
head, your
head, but then also to be
hormones,
able to
all that
sleep
other
better,
shit.
right?
Yeah,
To be able to sleep
Yeah,
better.
for your
And I
body to
think
function.
people
A
are thinking
working
in two
penis.
extremes. They're two extremes. So it's like either fucking lean or fucking fat. And
yeah,
there is a nice happy medium where you can have a bit more body fat.
yeah.
You can train better. You can sleep better.
You
You
feel
won't
better
be
as well. So much better.
sleep better. You won't be a
That's
grumpy cunt to everyone around you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's the thing with bodybuilding though. It's
yeah,
like it's a lot of people on bodybuilding, and I would include myself in that, all or nothing mindset, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah.
certain things. When bodybuilding actually requires you to be balanced in the middle,
yeah,
and it requires you instead of black white, it's this gray. So
Yes.
it's like you don't want to be too fat post show, no, but you also don't want to be too lean. Just like you don't want to overtrain, you don't want to undertrain, but you don't want to undereat. Da, 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 da. It's finding exactly where this is where people struggle is finding exactly where you need to
Yeah.
be and stay fucking consistent without trying to add new shit in. That's
I
I
the
think
kind of
that's
I categorize these fuckers that say that you're gonna have it. I know I'm quite sensitive. As you can see, this is a bit of a sensitive subject for me because it grinds me. But I was talking to someone yesterday about this, and I'm like, why the fuck is there a fucking reverse diet plan? It's like they're the kind of coaches who say, that this is what the peak week's gonna look like a fucking week out and all that. That's the kind of I
Yeah.
class those people in the same category.
yeah,
Fucking winds me up. They're delusional. Some of these people.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit fucking
It's
emotionally
No,
involved in this.
no.
no,
I think
I
we
love
all
it.
we all
Love
agree,
the
man.
passion.
We all agree with you. It's like you can't preempt these things. You have to be responsive rather than
Yeah.
like you have to see how the body reacts rather than just oh well I'm a bit. Do you know what? Do you know there's another one where people put in place phases. I get it. We all want a timeline because you like to have a visual of see where
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
at. But
an
how do you know?
idea.
How do you know how someone's going to look in 16 weeks? You don't really know exactly. Like you know roughly, but you don't know because like a lot of people like whether like lifestyle things come up or if they
Mm,
hold too much body fat, you might need to pull back or
mm.
whatever it is. So I don't
And it's
know.
like the copy and paste. The
Oh,
copy. I
Yeah.
can't.
do they exist?
Honestly, like I've had people come on board, and I've heard plenty of stories. Being a podcast host, of course, I get the inside scoop, as it were. But I've seen training plans for
They.
a wellness competitor and a
Oh,
men's physique competitor that are the same.
Yeah, I've
No
seen it.
yeah.
fucking way.
I've
Couple
heard
I've
about
calories
this
more here
recently.
than there,
I've
right?
seen it. I've
Yeah.
seen. That's just one example. Now I don't want to
Yeah.
go on a fucking rampage, although I sort of do. But it's like,
Never.
Fucking
what
with you.
the
Go on.
actual
Name and
fuck?
shame.
What the actual fuck? Now I've also had, I've and there's so many different tangents I go here, where coaches do the fucking changes in a prep based on scale weight
Ah,
and they don't check the physique. Like I tell you, I can fucking go. But there's so many things, and I think, isn't coaching meant to be bespoke? Like
yes.
people are paying for a higher tier service. Now, if you're a coach, stay in your lane. If you
Yeah.
do copy and paste, you're just doing a training plan, fucking own it and stop being a cunt.
Mm.
Tell the client it's a cheaper rate. I have a training library.
Yeah.
This would suit you. okay. If we're talking competitive bodybuilding, this is someone's fucking like they're stepping on stage, right? They need the bespoke nature to this.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking make sense to
This
me.
is this is what put me off getting a coach for a long time because it's even renowned coaches, right? Where you hear this coming from, where you're like, ah, right, cool. They've had something that's copied and pasted, or it's not pasted, or they're not looking at the photos, or and it's like it's crazy because this is some people. Well, when you're coaching someone, you're dictating a large part of their life. You know, you dictate the routine, what they're eating, how the digestion's going to be, the fucking, all this. And if it's like some generic shit that's not even to them and it applies to someone else, you could just be messing every fucking day your goal are doing something detrimenting it. And you're putting all your effort in detrimenting your own goal whilst paying some motherfucker a bunch of money. I like that's
Yeah.
I
wild.
mean, the clue is in there when they've got like hundreds, literally hundreds of clients, right?
Couldn't do
It
it.
is physically important, unless you're a fucking
Yeah.
robot and you have
And you
a
don't sleep.
duplicate or a twin of yourself. Yeah, you do not sleep, right? It is literally fucking physically impossible to be able to tailor make and customize hundreds and hundreds of programs fucking flat out. And I mean, okay, maybe there's a few exceptions. I don't know. It probably is. We probably know of a few, right? But it's literally the amount of bragging rights people have about, I've signed up 15 people today, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the fuck are you making? What kind of fucking encyclopedia do you have in your head to make all these
I,
plans, blah, blah, blah?
I got my
Yeah.
plan in 10 minutes.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
See, I never had any, like, this is but just a personal preference, just because I balanced having a gym and then the other job, what I do with the clients in London and whatever. But when I was still kind of keeping on to my online clients, to say, I never had any more than maximum 15 people at any one time. I didn't want to, or not because, I couldn't. It's just because I knew how much money I'd get from that. And I
Yeah.
also knew I would be comfortable with that. And it was still kind of a hobby for me. It's still
Yeah.
something I just enjoy doing. So I never went out of my way and got, I mean, I know there's people got 30, 40. That's understandable. I just never wanted to do that. Number one, because I didn't need the money. Number two, because it was just a hobby and I enjoy doing it.
Mm.
So I see people doing like, fucking honestly, and like you said, Sarah, I've also seen plans exactly like what you're saying
Mm.
in the same, because I have a gym, right? And I've seen people who are
Yeah.
coached by the same person in the gym. People fucking talk, man.
I
Yeah.
know.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I've come across it plenty of times recently as well, and I kind of want to name a name, but I'm also not going to.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
right
Do
there.
it.
I'm
Do it.
right there.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
no, no, no,
Do
no, I
it.
can't.
Do it.
But that's why,
I'll give you a
Jack.
fiver.
Jack's like, come on.
Same as you, Jack. You said you were reluctant to be coached, and that's same as me. I may have even
Yeah.
said it on a
Oh
previous
my God.
podcast.
You
It's
did, yeah.
like because I'm a super heavy bodybuilder and I weigh 260 on stage,
Mm.
then it's almost like, oh, therefore you need the 260 protocol. Let me go and grab the 260 protocol.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
ready made.
Yeah.
And I just don't agree. I
Wow.
don't need what other people need. I know how my body looks at certain points, and I don't trust that a coach is going to be able to do that personally.
I get having templates and like like
Yeah, yeah,
blueprints and guidelines. I get all
yeah.
that.
I agree.
Obviously, that's
Yeah.
fine. But fucking
Mm.
to the T, like Sarah said, I've seen it to a T. Maybe the dude's got fucking 200 grams more of this and that and the other. I'm like, fucking pretty much the same. I'm sure the person said that I don't like this kind of food, but it's still in there. The person hasn't even been asked to change the fucking food types over. Just
Yeah.
increase the calories. It's fucking mad.
There's also as well, and this is more of this is probably something I cover. I would say one of the heaviest topics I cover on my podcast is that, and this fucking hits me and breaks my heart that there's people that have consultations that talk about this to the coach that they're hiring when they've had food disorders.
Yeah.
And it's completely fucking ignored. It hurts me because I hear the horror stories. Now, we know what it's like. You spoke about this, Mark, very honestly on the panel we actually did, and this is where the four of us formed the quad, where, we all experience things perhaps that aren't a food disorder per se, an actual diagnosed food disorder, but it could be absolutely in the realms of it could
Yeah,
go that
100%.
direction. It's pathologies, it's things we do. But when someone has had a previous of food disorders and they've made that apparent, and a coach takes them on and completely ignores it, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Dangerous people, them, you know.
Some
Yes.
people need to say when they're not the right coach for the person. They need
Yeah.
to go, right,
Amen.
I recommend another coach, or just go, like, that's not my, it's above my pay grade. I don't specialize in that. Because the issue is you see a lot of coaches, they're like, well, I can do that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sound.
Money
Cool. You've
grabbing
got a broken
cunts.
back. I can rehabilitate you to walk again. Sound. Yep. You know what I
Um,
mean? Either just a coach who's just done one show with another coach. It's like, you got to stay in your lane. You'll get more respect that way,
I believe so, yeah.
but you know
So
what? We're
that's,
also touching on a subject here that I think is kind of like, at what point is something your job and something not your job? Like as coaches, we are physique coaches, right? And
Yes.
yeah,
yes, within that is like the mental health aspect as well. I get it, but at what point does it cross over into something that is now no longer what we
Mm.
should be dealing with?
yeah, this
Love
is
this.
this is a
Love
very
this.
good question, right? Because when I first got into coaching, I'll just use myself as an example. I was like, this was fucking 9 years ago. I was like, okay, cool. It's diet plan, nutrition, it's training, and some supplements.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, we're looking at blood work and we're fucking doing that. I would recommend some people to a GP and the GP would say some whack shit, and I'm like, well, that's a load of bollocks. Okay, I guess
Yeah.
I need to take over this issue, but I'm like, I'm not a doctor, right? So I think you've got a point, right? Because we've assumed, I know I've assumed more responsibilities as time's gone on. And I think it, it it's hard to balance the line of going, right, okay, that's not my responsibility. That's where I'm like, but also, again, we're trying to help these people, and coaching is becoming more comprehensive. And again, it's a business like any other. You're trying to keep up with the competition, right? And you're trying to add more things to your arsenal. I
More
think,
value and all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
But
you've got to know what you're offering,
I was going to say,
right?
you must put the work in beforehand, though, Jack. You can't just go recommending a bunch of
That's it.
peptides to someone without having known exactly what they do and what they're,
That's
that kind
it.
of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Because you don't want to go, I'll read your bloods, and you don't know how to read bloods just because another coach is read the bloods.
Yeah.
And you go, I'll give you gear advice because da 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 da, and you don't know anything about gear. I think is where you've got to do a level of diligence. But it's unregulated, man.
Well, look at the like this way. I mean, sorry to interrupt. This still kind of
Sorry.
related. So Ryan, obviously we've the same age stuff. We've probably been doing this same time. When we got into kind of PT qualifications and all that stuff, nutrition was a part of that then, right? Am I wrong or
Yeah.
am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's a whole separate thing, and it's another way of making money for these courses that provide them, right?
Yep. That's
Yeah.
But
right.
back when I was doing it, I was studying to be like nutritionist and all that stuff was included. I was doing it as all separate subject, but all at the same
Same.
time, right?
Hmm.
Now they say, you're not allowed or you shouldn't recommend make diet plan suggestions. You can make recommendations, but unless you're a nutritionist or a specialist, you shouldn't be doing these things. Am I right? And that's where things are at now. And it's the same thing, right, Jack? You've got to kind of,
Yeah.
know your
But
field a little bit and
what's
put the
wacky
work in.
about that is the PT courses don't fucking educate you properly to even a PT. Which is crazy. I did an extended diploma,
Yeah,
which is 2 year course,
yeah,
right? At the end of it, there were people in my class saying, "I don't know how to personal train people." That's like, you know what I mean? And they barely teach.
Mm.
They don't teach you right, and they just teach fuck all. So
yeah,
Well,
even then, when it's regulated, you still
yeah,
gotta. It's still your responsibility to educate
yeah.
yourself.
Further it, yeah,
I've got plenty of and I've had plenty of PT clients, and it surprises me how little they know. I'm sure you
yeah,
guys come across that as well.
yeah,
I'm consistently shocked at how little they know, and they've got clients themselves, and I think, well, what the fuck are you telling them?
yeah.
What the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
are you telling them? Like it's
Yeah,
bizarre. It's bizarre.
Shocking, that, innit?
yeah,
I
Yeah.
think as well from and this can, if coaches are listening, so from my own standpoint, is that when I first got into coaching, I mean, I'd done like 4 or 5 preps or whatever. I had mad imposter syndrome to even become a coach. I'd done PT for probably 8 years. Like, I'd worked with one-to-one clients. I'd managed 4 leisure centers, and I was still like, I can't coach.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just mad imposter syndrome here. I took the leap, started doing it, started small, started photo shoot preps, growth phases, whatever. But I then, for my own sanity, decided to get a mentorship. So it was with Austin Stout. I don't know if you know him, but he's, in America, fucking, I mean, encyclopedia of all things bodybuilding, also functional health, reading bloods. I learned all of this. We went into, huge amounts of detail around thyroid conditions, menopause, like everything. Now, as a coach, what can be difficult is you'd like to do something like that, but do you want to pay 6 grand?
Yeah.
Maybe not. And if you haven't got clients, right? So that's a difficulty. So that's one thing. But also, I feel like doing that mentorship. So if you can have someone, maybe you don't have to pay that much or whatever. I wanted him in particular, that actually he gave me the confidence as a coach to say no, to know when I'm in my lane. I, as an example, work in tandem with food disorder specialists, and I'm a physique coach, and I have clients where we work in tandem for the three of us as a love triangle. And then we decide, how I've had people that have actually then migrated to have them fully as a coach because the food disorder,
Yeah.
that's something we need to, where there's been a relapse as an example, and, that they were not in that space for a number of years before doing a prep, like that type of stuff. The confidence as a coach can be hard because you want to please, you want to be the best coach, you want to take people on. Then suddenly you're sometimes in the shit. So just a bit of a shout out to coaches that are a bit like, I don't know what to do, if you know what I mean.
I think the whole world needs mother coaches now because
Yes.
people see it as a bit of a quick buck, right?
Mhm.
And I see it. In fact, I saw it this week. Some guy who's done one diet phase, and he's like, "Hey guys," on his story, "Hey guys, stay tuned. Some online coaching coming soon." Like, and I'm thinking, "Fuck yeah, no!" Like the bar of entry is so low because there is no bar, is there? You can do what the fuck you want. It's like the wild, wild west. So anyone can just say they're a coach, and then that's it, self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not regulated. I think, just to touch on maybe just a slight tangent here. The irony is the PTs that are newer, fresher, a lot of clients would be attracted to those because they're relatable
Yeah.
Mhm.
over a bodybuilding coach,
Yeah.
right? Because like I don't want to be a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
and the irony is that the bodybuilder will just know the contrast, how to put muscle on,
Yeah.
and how to
Lose
lower
fat.
body fat just
Yeah.
all the way to the nth degree,
Yeah.
right? But it's and then people will because you see this with the content. It's like even content, people will engage with content more to someone who is more relatable,
Yeah.
rather than someone who's done it to a certain
The
level.
highest level. Yeah.
And it's like, I remember working in a gym. This is going back some years, right? And bodybuilding and trying to learn as much as I can, trying to be all fucking technical and shit. And there was this overweight PT, right? Who can't lose weight, right? And every week she had an excuse as to why she can't lose. Oh, it's water weight. Da 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 da.
What way?
Yeah, it's always that
It's
shit.
always hormones,
It's
and water
always
weight,
water
always.
weight or I'm recomping, and it's like, no, you're fucking not. You're just not in a deficit. But anyway, the,
Andrew.
she'd come in and you would have people. She'd just have people just doing cardio and watching Friday night dinner with them. And I used to watch this. I'd be like, huh, she's got more PTs than anyone. And she doesn't know how to do it. And but she's just more relatable.
More likable. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
it's mad.
yeah.
Uh,
It's
so there's less incentive, really.
Yeah, it's funny though. I always find that it's a funny sentence. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. Like they assume that we think everyone wants to be like what we
Yeah.
are or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
no, you don't want to be a bodybuilder, but the principles remain. The principles remain, you know. And as you just said, Jack, we have extensive knowledge from like the very beginner, like entry level, all the way up, right?
Yeah, because we started at the beginning.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. So no, I don't
It's
assume you want to
safer
be a
of us.
bodybuilder, but
Yeah.
you want to lose body fat, you want to gain muscle. That doesn't then make you some body. Like again, people think that they're just going to become a bodybuilder, become huge because I don't know, yeah.
They ate protein. I remember when I used to PT at a leisure, and then the leisure centres I managed were like council run. So it
Yeah.
was all techno gym. It was like a really
Yeah.
bad setup, really, for a bodybuilder. But I
Terrible.
would have people sit in front. Yeah, horrendous. Not great for my back and my ailments, but here we are. So people would sit in front of me and go, I want to get toned. So I'd say,
God.
could you describe what toned is to me? You know, bearing in mind this was showing my age, but quite a few years ago. And I'd say, so what do you mean by toned? And this is a great way as well for any level of coaching and client communication. Ask, so what do you mean by I don't want to be a bodybuilder? I want to be toned. Well, I just want to look toned. Okay, so if I'm going to PT you, respectfully, I need to understand what that's looking like for you. You know, is it a bit of definition in the arm? Da, 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 da. You know, I need to understand because it's this like fictitious. So I want to be X, but what is that? Because
Mm.
otherwise, we're not them being able to gear the ship. And you get people, you know, that don't even really know, but they maybe have heard a buzzword. They
Hmm.
want to maybe they want to go keto, whatever it is,
Yeah,
and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
why? Oh, and this is what we should do. Why?
Mm. I absolutely agree. Yeah, and do you know what? People do that slightly segueing, but it's the same principle. People do that with drugs, with
Yeah.
steroids.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, "Well, my mate at the gym reckons this gets you shredded." I'm like,
Got to
"Okay,
take Carnivore because
yeah."
Cannibal.
Apparently,
I
you
I
take Anavar
don't
and you get shredded when you take Anavar. I'm like, "Okay,
yeah I don't want my
okay,
girlfriend to find out I'm injecting
yeah."
a lot of steroids,
Oh,
so
fuck it
I'll
now.
go
A
take
friend,
Carnivore.
friend of mine's using X and he's absolutely shredded. So do you reckon I should take X?
Yeah.
No, not
What's
really.
he eating?
No.
Not
What's he
really.
training? What's his fucking
Yeah.
up? Like, it's not the gear, you fucking arsehole.
Trying to get that through to people might be the hardest thing in the world. If you tell someone that it's not the steroids that's making someone like really lean, if you tell them that, they literally think you're lying.
Bro,
Like it's
yeah,
the
it's
fucking diet, man. Like, but they like, oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I've
I've
heard it's
literally had
masteron.
that. I
I've heard it's
literally
masteron.
had that with a client. We were making such great progress. And they're like, listen, man, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. I'm actually just gonna go on Anavar because I find it better to lose weight. And I'm like, just do
Hang
that. They're
on.
like, well, in my experience, it does. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
It was like I'll still pay you for the 3 months I've paid for. But I'm just going to take Anavar and not follow the diet. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Some people, and that's the definition of some people just want a shortcut. And I think this, to relate it, to loop it round, you will have, this relates back to just how people market themselves as PTs and
Yeah.
whatever. Like people will go and invest in business mentors before on a course, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
to go, how do I be a better PT and offer a better service? It's like, no, how do I get the most leads? How do I get the
Like,
most clients? And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they will spend more time trying to, but again, it works when your social media is there, if you're
Mm.
relatable, blah, blah, blah. And if you're getting the
Yeah.
money, it's like, it's like I said before, there's no incentive
You,
to
you've
be
you've
better.
now you've done a course. Now you're better at selling yourself, but are you a better PT or coach?
Yeah,
You know. So now now
it's,
now you're charging more. Why?
Well, you've got
Because
nice
someone
content
because
all of a
it,
sudden, but still getting the shit results.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you
told
investing in your own ability is more beneficial than just investing in being a good marketer. And I'm not saying marketing isn't important because of course it is. That's how you get yourself out there. But like I think there should be an element of pride. You should want to be better because you want to be better, not just
and
make
because
more money.
you love learning about it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're passionate, but you're doing
That's
this
the
for
thing that
passion, not
people lack
money.
these days is passion. Like you just said, people just want to do it for a quick buck these days.
it's
Yeah,
really like it's savage. Jack knows this story. I had a business coach, mentor, whatever, and it only lasted 3 months because I was like, I can't do this. I can't cold message people.
Yeah.
I can't
yeah,
help. I was that was a really bad 3 months for me because one, I was paying and I wasn't doing it all, and he would you'd have to report back on a spreadsheet. It was very in depth. It was £650 a month, but
Jesus Christ.
yeah, and then I had to get out of it. I was like, when you break up a relationship.
Hey, was this Limitless by any chance?
It was one of Limitless who then left Limitless because I know some background story for our private WhatsApp with that, but yeah, it was part of that. Yeah, but I hands down, I was like, I can't do this. I was fucking majorly stressed that whole time because I felt like a fucking arsehole.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't.
it was cringe as fuck, isn't it, as well?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
One big bit of advice though that I will always remember, exactly what you guys have been saying already on this podcast, is that I was posting a lot of competition photos, me getting lean, prep, off season. And he was like, the thing is, if you want to try and gain lifestyle clients and get your name out there, see if you can get some clients, try not to post all of your stuff as competitive stuff. So try and be a bit more. I've done this, but I work with people that do this because people see you on stage and we forget this is like our normal, right? Like we're like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. I need to fucking get better here. People would look and go, Jesus fucking Christ, that is the 1%. I don't want, I couldn't do that. I don't want to do it. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. See,
That
Again,
is
yeah, it comes back to
I've heard that.
relatability, doesn't it? Relatability.
Yeah,
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 not
I've heard
relatable.
that, and it's like I've been through this rabbit hole of myself, right? Where I've had that recommended to me, and I'm like, okay. And then I realize, you've got to be more relatable to the if you're having lifestyle clients, you want to be post more relatable content that will attract them. Okay, of course. And then I realized that I am struggling to relate because I'm bodybuilding, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm an alien. Because it feels inauthentic to sort of post outside of bodybuilding and not. I feel like it's not me, right?
Yeah.
Because I like
Imposter. Yeah,
talking.
yeah, yeah.
I'm passionate about bodybuilding. I like talking about it. I like doing it to a standard that I'm doing it at. And if I'm like, yeah, cool, let's do a quick shred for fucking Ibiza, and then let's do. And you can eat whatever you want and still have the type of fucking, and you're trying to appeal to that type of lifestyle. I'm like, but that's not how I do things myself
Hey, no,
personally.
you have to do, yeah, you have to be authentic. I think people see through it, don't they?
Yeah,
If you,
credibility is huge, right?
yeah, that's it. I've got a question. Those coaches that have people and their big thing is very much about flexibility. Their big thing is, coaching lifestyle clients, and the client doesn't really do the diet, but they're doing it kind of not. Like, imagine that just for a second. Imagine, what do you do on check-ins? So let's say you have 50 check-ins for the week, yeah, 50,
Yeah,
and no one's followed the diet. What are you changing? What are you looking at?
yeah,
What
Like,
what
like,
what
like
can you
genuine
change? If
question,
nothing to
genuine
change, yeah.
question. What do you do with that? Like, I don't know. What's
yeah.
the
I
point?
mean,
Interesting.
but I suppose you stick them on Retta, and you can eat whatever you want. You won't be hungry for it anyway, and you'll lose
I
weight.
just,
So
I
This
just, I just
fight,
think like you're paying money, and then you like what? Like I don't follow the diet. I don't really train. I miss sessions. So
but
what we doing there? What we doing?
yeah, I don't. It's crazy because they're the most the popular demographic of clients,
Yeah,
and I don't want fucking clients like that who like don't want to follow the plan. I'm like, if you want to join, I'm not expecting you to be 100% on it all year round. I'm not expecting that. If you say you're a lifestyle, sound cool. And I've got plenty of people who are lifestyle and they're still pretty
On it,
adherent to the plan.
on it,
They're
yeah,
on
yeah.
it because they
yeah,
want to. They feel better for it. And that's the type of client I want to work with is
yeah,
like, they're like, oh, I want to do this because I feel better from it,
yeah.
And yeah, you can still have like, a meal off the plan once, twice a week, but they're
Yeah.
still pretty much fucking on it. And a lot of them would actually choose not to because they like the plan. That's
Correct.
the type of people that I want to
Correct.
be working with, not people like, I don't want to, the type of coaching where it's like, let's see how much we could get away with and make progress.
Yeah.
And go, let's see how easy we can make this process.
I
Let's
think
see, you know,
one of the beauties of working in my industry is there's very rarely any need for any communication between me and ex-client because, you know, a lot of these guys have got chefs and cooks and stuff like that, right? So if I
Mm.
tell them, right, you know, our check-ins look very different when you come to celebrity clients, obviously. You don't fucking go through the whole list of blah, blah, blah with them. It's a simple matter of every now and again, you'll ask to have a look at them. You'll point things out to them, get them on the scales, and simply I just like normally 9 times out of 10, I'm on the phone messaging the chef or the cook and say, right, I want this much less carbs this time or this much amount of fruit, whatever this week. It's just done so easy that the clients barely understand or even realize what's going on to them. And in the time frame you've been given, they're like at the end, like, fucking hell, I'm looking pretty good. I'm like, well, yeah, you know, there's a lot of people working on that behind the scenes. You just did the work. But it
So
wasn't magic, by the way. It did happen. You know, it's like it's pretty cool. It is cool. I mean, obviously that's where money and funding comes into it and it makes things easier for everyone. But at the end of the day, these people have got, you know, fucking crazy schedules as well, and they haven't got time to be thinking of dropping this count of the macros and fucking blah blah blah. So this is why they get paid to do what they do, right? And they get paid fucking millions to do what they do. But it's a pretty cool thing where, you know, you just got to like tell this person, right, I want this blah 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 now, and yeah, I want you to go and see this person next week for a sports massage, blah blah blah, all this kind of thing. You've got like a connection of a network. It's pretty cool. So that's a whole different kind of a ball game. But yeah, it's different. Let's put it like that.
hey
But it's
Mark, is there ever kickback? You know, like let's say you're dealing with someone who's like A-list, yeah, A-list celeb, sort of like like worth a lot of money, right? And you're telling them to diet harder, and let's say they feel like they're a little bit pooped, a little bit low on energy, they feel
happened.
like they're lean enough. Do
Happened.
they ever, is it hard to get that through to them that they need to go a bit more? Is that
Yeah,
hard?
yeah, because it's like, yeah, doesn't matter who you are, you're still a person at the end of the day, and you've got to do your job, right? But you've also got to kind of stop looking at that celebrity status as well. It happened not long ago, last year actually. I was given a client from somebody else and hadn't done a great job with them. However, they tried to bulk them, but obviously they'd grown and they'd grown a bit of too much kind of fat around the belly. And this person had a shirtless scene coming up, and it was the deciding factor whether he was going to do it or not. So he said to me, "Look, I'm not happy with this. I want to get rid of it." I'm like, "Fucking hell! All right, okay, well, we'll bring you down like 400 calories, whatever, all this stuff. We'll do it for a couple of weeks, see how you respond, and blah blah blah." Anyway, we did it, and within a week, mate, he was fucking moaning to me straight away, and he's like, "But mate, this this is what we've got to do." Yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't think I'm comfortable doing it anymore. I'm like, okay, fine. So anyway, a couple of weeks later, so we went back to the normal thing because you got to remember with their schedules and with the timings that they film and stuff, they'd be working silly hours, moving around a lot, blah, blah. The time came, it was like a couple of days out from shooting this topless scene, and he had a complete breakdown. And I had to reassure him, like, listen, mate, let's just go with the character you're playing and stuff. It kind of suits how you look a bit, not in the most. I had to kind of do all that because, yeah, the one portion of this person wanted to get lean, and then actually doing it because he'd been on such a surplus for so long. He was obviously enjoying his food and that, but just didn't quite like the effects of how he looked. And to get the scene done, and I'm like, well, fucking hell, what am I supposed to do? However, that was just because I was given him by someone else. But had I had him from day one, I would have planned that whole thing out better. But this was the very top of the food chain kind of client here that I'm talking about, and it's hard to kind of this person was understanding and things, but he just like the way he was feeling, and I get it. It was a drop, and we had very minimal time to do it, and he was just like, you know what? I don't want to be suffering. I want to be able to focus on my script, on my performance. Let's do it, and we'll take it. We actually filmed the shot in the end, and I think it looks fine. We'll see. Everyone's gonna hate me when the reviews come out and the pictures go online everywhere. Everyone's gonna go, fucking he's shit him. But I'll be like, listen, suited the character, it's fine. But I actually believe that because what he was playing suited this kind of look. This person could not have been super shredded and super lean because that kind of the character he was playing wouldn't have been, and his age and stuff. No, I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Oh,
I'll tell you after.
yeah, okay.
I think
Yeah.
as well with lifestyle, with coaching, I feel like we probably learn as we go as coaches. So if we're coming from a competitive bodybuilding background, we're obviously used to what we're talking about, right? So we're like, well, if we want that goal, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to get that goal. It often breeds that type of mindset. Not always as competitive bodybuilders, but most of us. So then when you become a coach and you start to look at lifestyle clients, quote unquote, I feel like we have to learn what is appropriate for Z client. So I've taken on lifestyle clients that have been coached by high level bodybuilding competitors, and they're on a through and through bro split food plan, etc., etc. Now and this is the thing, my coaching program is going to be different to all of yours, anyone listening. I will quite literally, if I've got, a mum with 4 kids and a husband and, works X amount of hours a week or whatever, I'll make several food plans and incorporate their dinners with the children, with the
Yeah,
husband. I will make a meal plan. This is your cottage pie. This is your version. This is your husband's version. Add some extra potato here, blah, blah, blah. That takes me a fuck ton of time, but I'm okay with that because they will then adhere and get the result. We have to make decisions as coaches how we do this because putting a mum of 4 on 1 egg and 4 egg whites and 100 grams of spinach for breakfast is a little bit weird. So we need to, I think, understand that as well from a lifestyle perspective. Unless they like the eggs and spinach, you
yeah. I
know.
find that goes a long way as well, though, Sarah. Right? They're really appreciative, and they're the kind of clients you keep
Yes.
as well, right?
Years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're
Just that
right.
little bit makes a
You,
difference.
you're absolutely right. I think that's really good to do that. Sometimes I have couples and
Yeah,
I synchronize their meals, right?
yeah,
Yes, my G.
I think
Yeah,
it's really important to do that.
right.
yeah,
But then also there's the clients that they want too many comforts. So I'm
That's
happy to
it.
put the comforts in, but then they a bit like what you just said, Mark. I want the result, but also I don't want to suffer for it. And it's
yeah,
like
That's
sometimes
it.
sometimes you got to give a bit to get a bit, right?
You
yeah.
either
That's right.
increase the sacrifice or
Yeah,
reduce the desire.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's one or the other, and you've got to like. Again, there's a fine balance of like working with the client so the plan's enjoyable. It's a convenience to follow it instead of an inconvenience, but you don't
yeah,
want to get to a point also where again the main focus is. Oh, I don't want to feel any hunger during this diet, or I don't
Mm,
want to
mm,
feel any discomfort when I'm training, or I
mhm.
don't want to. I want to have all the time in the world. I don't want to spend any time or energy on this. It's like, no, you've got to fucking. There's got to be effort in this, right?
yeah.
What gets me is when people come to me and they say they want to be a pro and they struggle to stick to a diet that's maintenance calories or something. I'm like, bro, like if you want to be a professional, you're going to be fucking starving for a living. You're going to
Suffering.
be incredibly hungry. Like that's, but you'd be doing it for a job, and you'd be doing it because that's what you want to
Yeah,
do, right?
yeah.
That's it's when the goals have a mismatch. Like and I'll have a competitor that isn't willing to do the work that a lifestyle client is willing to do, you know?
I
And
just think,
it's
I just think though, like, isn't it crazy that as an adult that you've got that mindset? I don't know. Like it's like I want to be a millionaire. All right, you got to start a business, start something innovative,
But on
be hard
that,
work. Yeah, but it's
well,
uncomfortable. Yeah, no shit. You
people
know.
often look at the results of success and not the price of it.
Yes.
And essentially what you're looking for when you're trying to dedicate yourself to a process is are you willing to pay the price of that process? Are you willing to do the suffering that process requires?
Yeah.
Instead of going, oh, can I have this end result? You go, right, cool. people need to actually look at that. It's like, cool, I'm willing to pay this price. I'm willing to suffer to the regards this goal requires, because people have such a disconnect with that,
Yeah.
and they get to a point where they're so focused on this end goal that they're in denial of the lack of actual desire to do what is required. And they'll go so much so they'll go, maybe it's just that this person's coaching, or maybe it's because of this this fucking excuses they fall off. It's like, bro, just admit to yourself that you actually don't want it. You don't want it. You like the idea of it, but you don't want it,
I
right?
think you touched on another episode, Jack. I think you said it's like the process itself is the reward.
That's it. That's it. The
Yeah.
work is the reward. If someone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I stuck to my plan this week. Let's eat so much shit I can't even fucking move," as a reward, it's like, what the fuck are
Yeah.
you doing? Like, what, it's someone who's wanted to do a competition prep and they're thinking about the all the shit after instead of the actual show day. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, it's the process is the reward. Essentially the process is what you need to be doing it for, because if you don't, then you're not going to stick to it long enough to actually achieve the end goal.
I think one of the problems is social media because it's made everyone think that they should compete. I'm going to say
Because
everyone. I'm
Oh,
obviously
that's true.
talking. I'm
It is
obviously
true.
yeah,
talking in hyperbole. I don't actually mean everyone, but
every single
um,
person on the planet, but
but
yeah,
before it was very much like bodybuilders,
Yeah,
bodybuilders, and now it's
yeah,
like, oh, I might do a show.
yeah.
Well, do you even like bodybuilding? Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I want to know what it
It's like
feels
what?
like. I want to say that I've achieved something. Like, all right, when we fucking do that, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I,
yeah, it's
I'm a bit of a gatekeeper in that one. I feel like if you're going to compete, right, I'm going to give you a little quiz first, right? If you don't know who Dorian Yates is, all right, we're not doing it. There'll be some guy. Like, I don't know,
I
like
fucking love that.
you need to have a baseline of knowledge, and I don't give a fuck. I am a gatekeeper, right?
It's like, name
Also,
me
also,
five bodybuilders.
I think we
Yeah.
need more of that,
No,
though, right? To be honest, mate, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think we need
say
more of
again.
that. I think we need more of that. I think we need
Yeah.
more people being
Yeah,
gatekeepers. If I'm honest, like
because
no,
stop
It's
talking,
not
no.
for
talking
everyone.
shit.
And that's why everyone, I keep saying everyone, that's why so many people have eating disorders because they're not
Yeah.
really into the process and it's quite harsh. And then they're
mm,
slapped in the face with reality of a prep.
yeah,
Ah,
that's it.
And,
And
and it's like, oh, fuck, this is quite hard.
it's
Yeah.
because
yeah,
social media keeps showing you the end result of something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And because if we experience this, I'm pretty sure all of us experience it when we're going through the process and people don't give a fuck. But when we're
Mm.
competing or whatever, people are, oh yeah, it's great. But when we're in the off season, I think you touched on this, Sarah. It's like uh, people are quite quiet, right? But that is, people come up to me and they'll be like, you taking a break? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
bro, I do this every day. This is all I fucking do, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually, even though I'm in the off season, I'm prepping for my next show.
Yeah.
This is
Always
just
prepping.
what it looks like. It's just not exciting. It's not something to go,
yeah.
Every phase is a precursor for the next phase.
yeah. And it's
Everything. Yeah.
like,
It's a whole
that's
thing.
it.
The whole
That's
Yeah.
thing.
it. It all contributes to the future.
Yeah.
So when people are just celebrating the outcome, you know, they're their own worst enemies, right? Because they're actually just ignoring. I don't want to look at the that.
Hey,
I
no,
don't want to
it's
look at the process that if and when they're asking for advice as well, it's like hard work, consistency, you've got to do the. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to hear that. Tell me the fucking
Yeah.
the
tell me the
shit.
sexy bit. Tell me the
Get to the
sexy
good
bit.
bits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
oh,
sorry.
it's a bit corny, but it is the work that's done when no one's clapping and no one's
That's
looking at
right.
it. It is. I know it's corny,
It's,
but that is it.
Oh,
the
that's
work, the
exactly it.
work, the results you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's
I love
great.
that.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
Love that.
Wants and needs are very different things. So as a competitive bodybuilder, it's often what you need to do. Perhaps, we learn to want to do it over time, I think, but initially it's very much wants and needs are going to be a very different thing. And
Yeah,
we have to draw this back to this is a choice.
yeah,
Public
yeah,
It is a
service
choice.
yeah,
announcement. This
Yeah,
is a fucking choice. There's people in the world that are in poverty that are
No,
fucking
no
laid
choice.
up.
Yeah.
There's a whole ton of shit going on in the world. You get to eat 4 to 6 meals a day, have a lovely hot shower after the gym. Yeah, we can train like a savage. Yeah, we can be quote unquote in the trenches, whatever. You are not going to war, okay? It's a
no,
choice.
Correct.
This
Correct.
is privilege. Do the fucking thing and do
Yeah.
it with pride rather than because
it's
social media, I was inundated in my first few seasons of people crying on camera because their prep is hard. Get a grip, okay?
Imagine
yeah,
crying. And imagine setting your camera up. You're crying and you think, I better set my camera up for
Because
this.
I'm hungry.
yeah.
What?
Hey,
There's people
we're not
dying.
hard
Do you
done by.
reckon? Do you
We are
reckon the
not hard done
crying
by.
and then set up the camera, or do you reckon they set up the camera and then cry?
Yeah, that's
There's
a tough
people
one.
Yeah,
dying in the world, right? Get real, okay?
yeah.
Yes, we get blisters. Yes, we are quote unquote suffering.
I,
We
I,
choose to do it.
No,
do you know what? Like,
I don't buy into even that language. The language is sorry. The language that you use ends up becoming like your reality. I've never, ever, ever once said that I'm suffering. Never. I am. I believe all of us in the Western world we're completely privileged, and we need to
100%,
fucking yeah. We're not
100%,
hard. None of us are hard done by.
Steve.
None of us. None of
We've
us.
got a fucking shelter
100%.
for a start. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there needs to be that context sometimes
Yeah.
because competitive bodybuilding, it's not meant to be easy. Yes, you can do it with ease, but are you getting into this thinking, cool, I just do the 12 like you said earlier. I'll do a 12
yeah.
week, see how it goes, step on stage, go and smash a load of food after this seems great, I'll just have a little laugh at it. That's not the mentality you're talking about, the old school mentality. And I know we can go on tangents there with old school, new school, whatever. But I'd love to see more of this, the
Yeah.
respect to the history of bodybuilding, getting to show
Mm.
the fucking wanting to get after it, exposing yourself to train with experienced bodybuilders, to put yourself under pressure. I would see that.
Yeah. You want to, you like trying to prove yourself to earn your stripes, you know?
Yeah,
I,
Mm.
it's, I think
You said it,
it's,
earning stripes, innit? You just said it.
sick. It's sick.
yeah.
Be
But
humble.
it, I said this before. It's like the people who need to be reined in are the
Yeah.
ones that will make the more progress than the people who are trying to find the easy way. It's like to be told to work harder. It's like, yeah, you need more of that of people going, oh, this process is going to be fucking hard. Great.
Yeah.
Good. I
Good.
can't wait.
Yeah.
I like fucking kill me. Go
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
it, you
bitch,
know?
let's go.
I've
Yeah.
got them clients. I'm sure you guys have as well. Some clients, if I lower their food, they'll literally be like, oh. And I've got them clients. If I lower
Yeah.
their food, they're like, fucking
Yeah.
right, let's
Or,
go.
On
or they're
it.
like,
Bring it.
oh, yeah, load my food. I can take more.
Yeah, let's
I can do
go.
more.
Let's go.
This is, yeah. I
That's
Just
love
what I
start
think.
that.
today.
That's
I'll do it
I,
today, tomorrow.
That's where I like that. That's where I like the mindset of going in the trenches, as in your willingness to do it, not as in the self-pity. Oh, I'm in the trenches. It's really hard for me. It's like, fuck yeah,
You
let's
know
do
it's
the
gonna be
hard
hard. You're
shit.
gonna fucking do it
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
right?
let's jump in, let's go
Yeah.
in, let's fucking go to war with this in your head because you're excited by the hard,
Fuck yeah.
the hard,
Get off
the
on it.
challenge of it, not
Fuck yeah.
of like, oh God, I've got this. Oh God, it's really sorry, you know,
yeah.
because
Boo
it is a
hoo.
choice.
Boo hoo.
Like I said this on a, I made a reel going in a fucking rabbit hole the other day about how rare it is to be alive, and how
Mm.
privileged we
Oh
are
yeah.
to just the odds of being alive, and it's like fucking it's saying you can't say the number out loud. It would take you months, right? But the odds of being alive now, when we've got the modern technology, just even being able to survive childbirth, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's true.
And like not die of some random fucking infection. Like I think about this, right? I think about, have you ever seen nature documentaries? How nature's supposed to be,
Yeah.
and people are getting fucked up. When you got animals being fucked up just in the natural habitat, it's like,
Yeah.
and we'll just complain that the fucking our coffee's a little bit too
Yeah.
cold. And
Yeah.
it's like,
So true. So true.
it's
Because
like,
people
oh,
forget we are animals. We are animals. We've just
yeah,
evolved to a point where we are able to create civilization. But we are animals, and fucking hell, life has never been easier. Never been
No.
easier. And yet, subjectively, we are moaning
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr said
Yeah,
that, didn't he?
objectively
Like,
better,
it's
subjectively worse.
fucking, yeah,
And
it's true.
still looking to cut more corners.
Can we
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
what animal we'd be?
But
What
but but
but,
But do you know what? Do you know what though? But that's part of the reason why we are like this. We become softer because things are easier.
yeah, because we've
What
got
one leads into the
options.
other. Yeah,
We're spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
I
Like
think
doing the
that's
hard,
it.
I've said this before about doing the hard things. Doing the hard things is not, I like doing the hard thing, and I said this before, right? But it's not just because I like suffering things. It's genuinely because it simplifies my life.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when you're
It really
like
does.
deep in prep or whatever, and you're like, I'm growing here day on day. I'm fucking my mind is
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely, absolutely.
I
having
love,
epiphanies on the toilet. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
over, start a
Do you know?
business.
yeah,
That's so true. That there comes a point in prep where like a change happens in my mind, and I'm like,
yeah.
fucking, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I love seeing the version of myself when I'm in prep and I'm like, fuck, I'm doing the hard thing. It's rewarding. I feel just more self-respect
Yes.
because I'm doing something that is challenging and I get to see myself overcome it on a daily basis and I
Yeah.
know this is character building
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, this is great. That,
So
that's
true,
that's
though.
what
So
more
true.
people need to be doing
Make
because they
bodybuilding great again.
Yeah,
they
do you
need
know what?
to.
One of the best skills that people could learn is, and I love it. I love it. Is deferred gratification. You know,
Yeah,
the things that you do today to get a larger payoff later on. You know,
Like
it's
Zach
this.
said earlier, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like it's this. We need like instant gratification all the time, and it's part
I
of society,
feel
isn't it?
like we should not be chasing pleasure. We shouldn't.
But
Um,
remember
we
the fact that you're training better, you're eating better, you're living better, you're feeling
yeah,
better, all these things.
because if
Remember
if
all
you
the little small
chase
things.
Yeah.
100% Mark, like if you chase pleasure. You're going to become a drug addict. That's how you get drug addicts. If you're chasing fucking pleasure, you want to challenge yourself and overcome problems. Like there's this quote, I forgot who it's from, but it's like a man needs a quest, you know? And it's a simple
What about
quote, but
me?
it's like, well, you're a woman.
Woman,
Oh,
no,
Woman,
women don't need
What are
quests.
you trolling
yeah,
me? I got trolled the
yeah,
other day.
mankind.
Yeah, you trolling me
What?
live on the fucking podcast.
What they
No
say.
beef.
You well. Do you want to finish what you're saying, Jack? This is bad. Bad.
Basically, the point of what I'm saying is, people are looking for easy things, are comfortable. Let's make it more comfortable. Let's keep chasing that. Where it's
Yeah.
like, maybe you don't need more things. Maybe you just need more restraint. You know,
Yeah.
maybe food tastes better when you haven't had a lot of it in a long time.
no.
You know, and a
Absolutely.
day off tastes. A day off is much better and much more relaxing once you've been working very hard, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's it. It's like if life seems complacent, boring, or kind of shitty, maybe it's not because it's hard, maybe it's because it's fucking easy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, if you were to, I mean, again, it'd be impossible to do, but if you were to poll the nation of, the people in the Western world who are saying, oh, it's so shit in England, oh, it's so shit in America, oh, it's so shit over here. And then if you were to do it to like people who had way less in countries that were way worse off, they won't be saying the same thing. They'll have
No,
pride
they're
in the
happy.
stuff they
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, just
It's
go to Palestine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I had this context when I lived in Thailand for 10 months. Like they are so happy. They are like, "Ding," and
Yeah.
they
Yeah. Yeah.
smile. Obviously, you don't have to, guys, you don't have to really speak to anyone. So it's quite ideal if you don't want to speak to many people when you go out.
Yeah.
Because they're just happy, and it's a third world country, right?
Well,
Like
this is what I mean. They've got to do the hard things anyway. They have to, and that's what I mean by doing the hard things. It can simplify your life. I'm a big believer of that.
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
it's great
100%.
context. And I came back to UK and I thought, fucking hell, guys, you need to fucking chill the fuck out. We are privileged here, particularly in this
Yes.
bodybuilding example. Obviously, we're all quite passionate about that because I just, yeah, it's like you were saying earlier with your passion, Mark, with, when people are coaches are being shitheads, like it is. We get to do these things.
Yeah.
Like, when
Get
did that
to.
become something to fucking moan about? I can't,
Yeah.
correlate.
Yeah, it's that mindset. It's like, oh, I have to do this. No, 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 no. You get to do
Get
this.
to do this.
And I always think to myself, like, there'll be a point where I can't do this anymore because I'll be too
Yeah,
old and too decrepit. So I'm like, what would the 80-year-old version of me say?
yeah.
Get after it.
Shut the fuck up and go. You know what I
Fucking
mean?
do
Like,
it.
you're never gonna be this guy again. Like, you're only getting older. So fucking,
Yeah, yeah. And there's
Fucking enjoy it.
you're
One
only
hundred
able to
percent.
do certain things in your life at certain ages, and life has certain phases with certain benefits. Like when you're young and you're a kid, you've got all the time in the world to just fuck around or whatever. The
Fuck around and find
responsibilities will
out.
eventually come. And then when you're an adult, you're a young adult, you've got like this. You've got energy, you've got your ability to use your body, and then when you're older, you've got the ability to use your mind. And it's like, why not just? This is the way I see it. This is what I'm like. I've got to give everything to this process now because I don't. I want to. I also want to treat my body well because I don't know how long I have to make the most out of doing something with my physical ability. I'll
yes.
do some mental shit later down the line when I've got some, probably have another process that's more mentally engaging, potentially, focus on business,
Ayahuasca.
whatever the fuck, or just do shitloads of psychedelics and become
Yeah.
We'll
one
all be
with
on
the
the top of a
fucking
mountain
fifth
together, like
dimension.
we did it.
Yeah,
Make life great again instead of putting.
yeah, fuck it out. We just, yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
imagine like heaven forbid, like something happened to you, not you, not specifically you, but something
uh,
happened to you and you became disabled, like
Yeah,
you lost use of your legs. You'd be like, oh my God, I didn't realize how good I had it. I did not realize how good I had it.
100%. Yeah, and I see this. I see this. I've seen people who loved competing and loved going to the gym, and they've had that um, taken away from them, whether it's been through an accident or like a degenerative illness.
yeah,
And you see that, and I'm like, fuck, I can't complain about anything ever again, ever.
Yes.
You know?
Perspective, perspective.
It is, and I think that some people just need some motherfucking perspective. It's like life's hard. It's like, really?
yeah,
Is it? Is
Like you
it?
said as well, it's like a lot of people that it happens to can be the people that just love bodybuilding and then they get it removed. And then you've
Mm.
got people that are pissing and moaning about it
God,
that
yeah.
get to do
I've
it.
had. I think we've all had those clients that probably need to hear this shit, right? Where they, or you see people online or whatever. It's like they're feeling sorry for themselves and doing the thing that they chose, as you say earlier. And when you've got a client going, oh. I feel sorry for the people in my life whilst I'm on prep, blah, 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 and I feel sorry for this, and it's really hard. I'm like, bro, crazy.
Yeah.
And what the fuck you doing? You're trying to guilt trip me in something
yeah,
that you've paid me to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, like you want to set a good example. A lot of my clients as well, they've got children,
Yeah.
and I think to myself, don't you want to like
Mm.
inspire.
this is a lesson for your child to look at you, face adversity, and overcome it. And
I see
again,
that.
remember, this is adversity you chose, and also it's not adversity like your life's at stake, is it? Like you're just prepping meals, you know? Like fucking hell, man! Like you got to eat 5 meals a day and go to the gym. I think you're
Moving
gonna
your
be all
body a
right.
little bit more.
I think you're gonna pull through, mate. I think you're gonna pull
This
through.
is, I mean, I'm going to war here. I've had multiple guests. This is funny because the first one I did with a guest that has got a background. She was actually still in the army, actively in the army, but I've had veterans on that are into bodybuilding, and I always say, how do you feel when people say they're going to war? And they are literally like, bearing in mind they've had friends blow up
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
front of them, okay? And then they've got bodybuilders saying to them, I'm going to war.
Yeah, but it's like, I suppose it's like in what context? Because how many people are saying it, meaning that they're actually in war, or are they saying it metaphorically, right? Do they like how many people are saying it, meaning that they're actually going and getting blown up by a fucking claymore and shit, or how many people are just saying it as some sort of an analogy?
I have to
Um,
ask them. I have to ask them because it's
a
an
100% because there are people who are just melodramatic, right? And it's
Massively.
like I go to war and it's like, bro, you're on week 2 of your fucking prep. What the fuck, you know?
still
I,
fat.
like
I
I
think I
like.
think it's important to recognise that look, you're allowed to feel discomfort. You're allowed to feel
Yes.
like it's hard, of course, but just put it in. I'm a big believer of using the correct terminology.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
you tell yourself that it's so hard, guess what?
Oh, you
yeah,
It
fucking
is.
Guess
hell.
what? You know?
100%. And I think that is true. I think if you're going to rally, if you're going to think about hardship, you should be thinking about how you're relishing with it and how you're going to grow from it. And like, fuck
Yeah,
yeah, this
yeah,
is
yeah,
great. You know, this is why I say what I say. It's like too easy because you want to be prepared to do more than it actually
yeah,
requires.
yeah, yeah,
If you tell yourself something, this is the hardest I could work, that then you've capped yourself the hardest that you can fucking work. If you're like, God, this is fucking easy, I could work a lot harder,
yeah, yeah,
then yeah, you're gonna have just a smooth when you focus on how hard can I fucking work it rather than how easy can I make it,
yeah.
you'll have a better time. But I do
Agreed.
like it being intense, you know, with because some people are like, oh, it's not that deep. And I think anything is not that deep in life when you zoom out of it, but anything could be as deep as you make it
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah,
And it's
Absolutely.
like, well, at the end of the day, everything's insignificant if we want to think like that, right? But also at the same time, it, a process that you're passionate about can be as deep as you want to. You
Yeah.
know, if you want to go there and be just fucking right, cool, it's me and just the set, nothing else matters in my fucking life right now. And I'm going to give everything to this set. And that gives you a sense of peace and presence. That's really cool. And you're like,
yeah,
cool, you're lost with the process.
yeah.
Um,
But I think you're touching on something. You're utilizing it in a positive manner. I think that's great, but it's not a pity party, is it?
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
There's a
no,
big difference. Yeah, you're doing it in the way that it should be done. Whereas I think sometimes I don't know. I think people want ailments. I sometimes people think
yeah,
sometimes
oh
people
yeah.
want they
Don't,
want to have
don't.
a they want to be able to say that they've got a trauma or something. I don't know. It's kind of
Mm,
strange. But
yeah,
Yeah.
the way
yeah,
you're describing it, I really agree with. Yeah,
Message
yeah.
of
I
the
think
day: do the hard things, right? Do the
do
hard
the
stuff.
hard thing and enjoy it. Be grateful for it.
Yeah,
Be grateful
absolutely.
you could do the hard thing.
There's
Be
the difference
grateful you could
what
fucking
you're
run a
talking
marathon.
about. Because it's like there's, and I agree with what you're saying, Jack. It's like, and I've been criticized for pouring too much into bodybuilding. And I'm like, what do you
Mm.
mean? How does
yeah,
that make sense? How can you pour too much into competitive bodybuilding? For me, that doesn't make
Mm,
sense. But essentially, I'm not a human, which I am if you know me well enough. I am quite weird. But, people start to almost attack like you're saying, the readiness to do a set, taking training seriously. Like when I train, I'm not there for
yeah,
anything other than doing that, and I will speak to the people I want to speak to. So there's a difference, right? Like, yeah, you pour yourself into that, but it's not like you say, Ryan, the pity or the
no.
fucking shit that's. And I believe we've spoken about this, Jack, loads of times. I want to pour everything into it. I want to. That's what I choose to do. So
mhm,
I think it's a powerful thing to be able to go, this is a process that I can pour everything into, because I want to. Um, I
it is.
know that, like, zoom in and zoom out. If
Yeah.
because listen, I can very easily go. In the grand scheme of things, nothing matters, right? If you zoom out of time and space, right? And then you're left with, oh, well, what's the point in anything? Well, yeah,
yeah.
and then
I've had those thoughts many times.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too.
God,
Fucking right.
after some LSD, you'll have to wondering some shit, right?
Yeah, what's the
Yeah, you
point? We're all
have
gonna blow up in a few fucking million
yeah,
years anyway. So
yeah, you have an ego death. You're
point of
like,
all
wow,
this?
in the observable universe, even I'm a
Fucking
nothing.
hell.
But like, then again, it's like, cool. Well, you're here. You've defied the odds of actually being here.
Exactly.
It's pretty impossible to actually exist. So what are you going to do with your life? And it's like choose something and
Yeah,
die for it. And
yeah.
that's
Love
what
that.
life should be. Is
Love
like
that. Love that.
eh, choose something and die for it, and it can be anything. And there's no rules. Forget societal expectations, right? Forget what people say you should be loving and what you should be doing instead, and forget how people think you should be spending your time and whether or not like you're wasting your life on whatever the fuck it is. If you want to collect stamps to stare at trains all day, that's you, fuck yeah. If that fulfills you, do that shit. If you want to fucking prance around with a thong, tanned up, oiled up, on stage, fuck yeah. You know, let's do that shit.
Yeah, do you know what,
It's
Jack? You said something there, like when you zoom out enough, nothing means anything. And
Yeah.
I think that's a really slippery slope to go down because, like, break it down. Like, what's the point of football? It's just a load of blokes kicking the ball in the net.
yeah.
What's the point? You know, what's the point of playing tennis? Just hitting the ball around. What's the point of what's the point of going to what? Like, you can do that to anything.
Yeah.
So you
100%.
you have to cap that at some point because
But
you need to fulfill yourself.
100%. And this is where, so I apply that, you know, I've applied that when I'm like, just so I don't take issues too serious, right? The problems where I'm like, that's not actually, in the grand scheme of things, that's not really a problem, is it?
Okay.
You know? Um, and it's, but I think you know, with football, especially as the World Cup's just gone on, I find it very interesting how you will have people literally just fucking scream at a TV, blah blah, and batter each other over over a game, and they're literally crying because the team's lost
Yeah.
and going crazy over it, right? And they're not playing it. They're not playing it, right? And in the same breath, they'll see someone train in a gym and go, "Fucking hell, it's not that deep." You know, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
bro, how do you not segue
yeah,
that passion? Like, how do you not empathize with passion, right?
yeah.
Because this is
That's
what
a
I'm like,
reel. Make a reel on
yeah,
that. Make a reel.
fuck, yeah, it's mad. It's because I've had it to deal with it the other day. Like, I was training with someone, and he'd won a leg press. He's at the final few reps. I said, ah, and then people are just taking the piss out of him, and I'm like, huh.
Rick,
Well, someone,
taking a piss
and
out. Okay.
what they were taking a piss out of someone I was training with,
All right.
and
Focusing on a leg press.
yeah, and I was like, they're just training hard. They're not making excessive noise or whatever the fuck. And it's like, huh, you wouldn't see people walking into a pub and going, ha, bunch of wankers, why are you crying over the fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have that. It's like, it's only a game. They would fucking be
As I say, man, that's a real slippery slope because you can do that literally about anything.
100%.
So
And that's,
you have to cap it at some point and understand that some people just derive pleasure from doing things that are different to you, and that's okay.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's my overarching point is, you know, you want to, if you feel passion for anything, if
Mm,
you don't understand another person's process, just understand that passion that you feel for that and
yes.
believe that it relates, you
Yeah.
know, and they feel it. So if you see someone deep in something, right, whether it be football, whether it be bodybuilding, whether it be whatever, like I say, you know, train spotting or whatever the fuck, and they're getting really excited about it, or the new or collecting Pokemon, fuck, you
Hey.
know, I'm like, I know how I feel about bodybuilding. I know how I feel when I go into the gym and train. I'm like, cool. If it feels like that, fuck yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you
And
know what I mean?
if you're gonna do something, do it with passion. You know,
Do,
like
don't
do
half-ass it.
yeah,
Do it
yeah,
with
yeah.
everything you've got.
Whatever it is in life, you
Yes.
know, do the thing that you love with properly. Give it the respect it deserves.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're half in, half out, it's like trying to jump from one building to another and falling through the middle because you've not given yourself to the jump enough, right? If you're going to take a leap of faith, fuck you go and sprint for it. You know, it's like that's the worst thing you could do is either you don't do it or you just don't half-ass it, man. Love it,
Yeah.
and don't let anyone else tell you how to love something that you love, right?
That's
Tell you
agreed.
what to be passionate about.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I feel like we should all be like this.
This is
Fuck
it.
yeah.
This is getting deeper and deeper. I fucking love it. And on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
note, I'm gonna go and fucking chase some trains.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
I've got to do. I've got to do a shout, boys. But thank you very much for your time. I'm gonna have to do one.
Are
No,
we?
No
so
worries, my
brother.
man.
I will catch you all soon. Next one,
Appreciate you
hopefully.
coming on.
Catch you later,
Yeah,
mate.
Have a
man.
good week, dudes. See you
Have a
later.
good
Catch
one,
you later,
brother.
man. Bye bye.
Bye, man.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, there
I think
was three.
how deep are we now, Jack?
We are balls deep. We're an hour and 40.
Ooh, that's nice.
Do you
Yeah, I
reckon?
think that's time to bow out.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything you want to close on, Sarah? You want to say anything?
If you were gonna label me as an animal, what animal would you choose me as?
Well,
Would it be a Jack Russell? Would it be a
that's been
Jack
in
Russell?
for a long time. How long have you been waiting to say that? You've been-
What animal would I be?
Right.
Or you can think about it if you want. I don't want to put you on
Uh,
the spot. Don't be horrible either.
so,
Right.
so what's a nice animal? What's a horrible animal?
Something like
Okay.
a fucking sloth would be shit, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
It's
I don't
okay.
know. Sloths are good. Chill back,
Yeah,
chill
chill.
back,
They
lay
preserve
back.
their energy. They're not, no, but not too
They
bad.
go they only move to go for one poo a day, I think.
Yeah,
How many do you do?
I've been.
Depends what phase I'm in.
I have to track mine now.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you have to take photos and send them over?
I don't, but I do anyway. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine?
That's
Just to do like a time.
personal collection.
Is it
It's
just
like
what
I'm
time?
on
Just
what
time, the time you
type?
go? Is it like
No, just the frequency. How many?
no, like the consistency and shit, please?
No, no. Maybe when it comes to checking, I might have to run through the texture and shit.
Oh, you've got to do check-in, Gary.
Oh
Got to do a
Yeah,
check-in and have video
my
feedback.
god.
yeah, yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
wow. I haven't had
Yikes.
video feedback for fucking years.
yeah. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird because usually I just look at my photos. And I'm like, ha, cool. I'm not fat. That's nice. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that would be so weird getting video feedback from a coach at this point, but yeah. Here we are with
Yeah.
Josh. You can let us know how it goes next time. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
obviously not here for I've got Tampa. This time next Monday I'll be in the air flying to Tampa. And then I'm
Hoorah.
down there. And Mark's obviously doesn't know how he can do. So I don't know when it will be, but of course I look forward to hearing about what the fuck's going down with the check-ins and shit. And we can share it with people.
Shite.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Well, enjoy your time away.
Thank you. I'm gonna be in my fucking element with the muscle women. Oh,
I reckon a dolphin. A dolphin.
yay, a dolphin. Oh,
Or a monkey. Or you could go with a monkey. It's got to be a monkey, isn't it?
oh,
I'll
I'm
go
Jack.
with dolphin. I reckon dolphin. Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
always
be.
seem like you always got a smile on your face as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dolphins always seem pretty
yeah.
happy. Yeah, I'll go with that.
And
That's what.
they're
Yeah,
quite rare. They're quite rare to see. Oh, this is getting
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. That's good. I reckon we hit you with a good one there.
Yeah,
I was thinking, give it a good think. I was like, dolphin. Boom.
I'm a fucking dolphin. I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
guys, have a fucking blessed rest of the day and just keep being fucking badasses. I love
yeah.
it.
That's it, man.
Thank you
Do
very
it.
much.
Nice one.
Good to see you guys. Catch you later.
Nice one, guys. See you in a bit.
Bye bye.
Bye.